Haha. So, I'm Christo. Uh, YouTube drill, like, subscribe, share, and yeah, let's play. So, yeah, last night I was yeah, Shelly came back again. She sounds like an imaginary friend. It's actually fantastic. But yeah, and she laughed a little with me, and we joked and guyed, and she came back and she says, I must focus more on where would the diamond be most applicable? Because I personally see the world as everything's a diamond, from agriculture to law to mechanics and engineering and arts and humanities, and but my primary focus in life is education. So the diamond was born on the 19th of April 2002, and yeah, for like, and it was born in its entirety. So some people would say it's a download, others would say it's divine inspiration. But there's this thing sitting on my wall, and I was busy with my honors, and now I'm staring at this and I'm thinking, okay, how does this work? Okay, and I realize it's actually a theory for everything. It's applicable everywhere, but coming from an education background, I looked at it, and then my uncle, he's actually a leadership guru and management, and he does soft skills, time management, decision making, and a bunch of other stuff. But it's all leadership focused, and he works with big corporations and stuff. So I take him into the study and I show him this funky diamond, and I say, "Can I explain?" He says, "No, no, no. Let me just look at it for a while." And he says, "Fantastic. Read Sengi." I'm like, okay. I've just had this moment of inspiration, and all he says to me is, "Read Sengi." So I went off and I actually found Sengi. But before I could afford Sengi, I went and sat in exclusive books and actually just sat in their reading corner and started reading. And this is literally chapter 1, page 1. I hope I can get this to focus. Give me a lever long enough, and single-handed I can move the world. So now we've got to find the lever. And honestly, I believe the diamond can be a lever. There's a lot said about levers. Currently, I think the world is on a pivot point, and we're being leveraged into situations as society with regard to other people's chemical usage, pollution, war. The outside of the ego diamond is actually moving in and putting pressure on all of us, because we want to actually murmurate. We want to reach our divine. We want to be human. We want to experience Earth to its fullest. But pause. Page 1, chapter 1, paragraph 1. From a very early age, we are taught to break apart problems, to fragment the world. This apparently makes complex tasks and subjects more manageable. But we pay a hidden, enormous price. We can no longer see the consequences for our actions. We lose our intrinsic sense of connection to a larger whole. When we try to see the big picture, we try to reassemble the fragments in our minds, to list and organize all the pieces. But as physicist David Bohm says, the task is futile. Similar to trying to reassemble the fragments of a broken mirror to see a true reflection. Thus, after a while, we give up trying to see the whole altogether. The diamond is the whole altogether. And with that, it becomes a whole new lens to see the world. And it's not about taking fragments now and putting them together, because they're not going to fit, but to just blink and see it new. It's like putting on a pair of sunglasses. You just put them on, and voila, there comes the diamond. Everything just, it's like a kaleidoscope. You pick it up and you just put it to your eye and you turn the lens. It's beautiful. Now, coming from education, and with Shelley and what she said, and going back to the beginning, this is an education model. Now, page 2. I think it's page 2. This is really going to be a fun trip down Sengi. Ah! Page 2. And this is 1999. This is yonks back. Okay, it's like 3 years before the conception of the diamond. I hadn't read this. Okay. As Fortune magazine recently said, forget your tired old ideas about leadership. The most successful corporation of the 1990s will be something called a learning organization. Okay, now, as soon as something comes up, learning, there must be teaching. And as soon as you've got teaching and learning, that is a relationship of education. Because that's all that education is. Education is one party teaches, the other party learns. But that relationship, the learner becomes the teacher. I see this with my 4-year-old. No, sorry, he's 8 years old now. But my 8-year-old teaches me as I teach him. And I must be open to learn, and he must be open to learn. And if the context is right, learning happens from within, and it is intrinsic to the human body, human person, to be curious, therefore to learn. Because curiosity opens up learning, discovery, exploration. And all of that is quite beautiful. And then we put the lens of a diamond on top of all of that. And we realize that it's not about serving someone else's ego. And in curriculum, and that's what I do, it's all about serving ego. Because someone else made the laws, someone else made the rules. We must return to natural law. Now, in considering this learning and teaching, I believe we must return to the original education system, which is, so to say, homeschooling. Parents and children have relationship, and through that relationship, they do agriculture, they do baking, they do shopkeeping, they do upholstery, they do art, they do music. And as soon as we've got that gene strength or gene memory or cellular memory of bloodlines coming back to the fore, we don't get people outside of their natural strengths. If you look at indigenous knowledge systems within a tribal structure, one guy, he enjoys weaving, and another person enjoys hunting, and another person enjoys going to fetch the water. And guess what? Between the three of them, they get a whole little system going, and process model, and there's exchange. The whole concept of let's say, money is a representation of energy for mutual exchange. That's why it's called currency, because it's my current value of energy, your current value of energy, and with that we can have a common denominator with which we can do exchange. But actually money isn't necessary, and if it's not based on something like a gold standard or a tangible standard, we've got a problem. Okay, but that's a whole different. The thing is, diamond theory is an education model. An education model which balances teaching and learning. That's the relationship in that diamond. And that means the diamond can be perfect for homeschooling, perfect for home education, career education, self-education, but there will always be a relationship between what is being taught and what has to be learned. Okay, to round off today, I just want to read another piece of Sengi. It's phenomenal, and it's something that we've lost. And I think it's also page 2. Maybe 3. It's the most amazing book I've ever read. But okay, I'm gonna have to check out where exactly it is. But in essence, it is. Have you ever watched a toddler? They rule households. They've got mama, papa, sister, brother, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and they rule those households because they are still connected to the divine. They have memory of where they come from, the divine, and they've still got curiosity to be divine. But they're here for a human experience, so somewhere the neurology changes and then the system looks after itself. But our goal as parents, as employers, as teachers, as learners, is to foster the human experience with a quest to reach divinity again. Welcome to Diamond Cornerstone. You are the diamond. Put the diamond lens on, and let's change the world. Many blessings.